Town Hall 11 is an amazing town hall. You get the Eagle, you get the Grand Warden, you get Electro Dragons, you get Ice Golems, and you get invisibility spells, among other amazing things. And if this is your first time going through Town Hall 11, you have found the right video because this, my friends, is the official upgrade guide for Town Hall 11 in 2023. Now, there is one thing that I am assuming before we get into the rest of this guide, and that is that you have actually maxed out your previous town hall level. You got everything done in the lab, the buildings, the traps, everything. So if you did not max out your town hall 10, then you may want to go back and upgrade those things first before you follow this guide, just because it won't make sense otherwise. This is my max town hall 11 Lincoln, and he will be our guide for today. So let's pop into the blank space and begin with what new buildings you get at town hall 11. So you only get 7 new buildings at Town Hall 11. That's, of course, if you assume traps are buildings, right? The Grand Warden Altar is huge. I think it's a 0-second upgrade, and you get the Grand Warden, and it's amazing. So you definitely want to get this day one. All the other ones are debatable. I mean, you want to get the new things as soon as possible because the lower level upgrades give you more DPS in a shorter amount of time. So really getting the new defenses as soon as you can is a great idea, but you also want to balance it with what we always prioritize at the beginning of new town hall levels, which is the offense. And so if you watch my Gold Pass Clash or Town Hall 11 Let's Plays or whatever, you'll notice that I kind of mix in the new defenses with offense upgrades in the first few days of any town hall level. But I do want to bring special attention to the Eagle Artillery, which we will cover in finer detail at the end of this video with the defenses list. But basically, the Eagle Artillery kicks all kinds of butt, and you want to get it as soon as you possibly can. All right, let's just put that down right now. It's the best defense that you can get. Pairing that screen with this screen, this is what you want to focus on primarily day one. All the new stuff, and then their offense. The offense include things like the laboratory. Clearly, that's a day one priority. You want to even use, if you can, a book of building or maybe a hammer on the laboratory so that you can take advantage of the power potion effect whenever you upgrade your town hall. Other really high priority things include your clan castle, your army camps, and then dark barracks. I would say those are the things you want to focus on in the first few days, first few weeks of Town Hall 11. Lower level priorities, and this is debatable, this is subjective, is the spell factory, because I just don't see the invisibility spell is like a high tier important thing to have. Plus it slows down your spell brewing capabilities during that time, which is horrible. You also have the barracks, which unlocks your Electro Dragons, which I think is a lot less important than upgrading and unlocking your Ice Golems, right? Ice Golems, in my opinion, are way more important than Electro Dragons, although Electro Dragons have their place. And then least important is the Dark Spell Factory, because you actually don't need to upgrade it. I just decided to put it on the screen for the fun of it. So Dark Spell Factory is done the moment you go to Town Hall 11 because it doesn't get an upgrade. But this is the rough order of offense that you want to work on in conjunction with the previous page, which was your new buildings and such. And don't forget your heroes, okay? Don't forget not the Dark Elixir Storage. Don't forget you have your, your queen and your king, and those are important too. You want to be upgrading them and trying to max them out. They go to level 50 at Town Hall 11. Is it 50 or 55? Yes, that's what I thought. Okay, so your queen and your king go to level 50 at Town Hall 11. Assuming you went to level 40, that's only 10 levels at Town Hall 11. Again, assuming you maxed your heroes at Town Hall 10. And the Grand Warden, which, you know what? Let's put this guy on here too. He's important. Goes to level 20. And remember, you got him really early because it's a 0-second upgrade to get the Warden in the first place. So offense, very, very important. And I didn't mention this, but the Clan Castle does let you hold more troops. That's always a good thing. It may... Yeah, it's definitely a super high, like day one priority. I know that I upgraded it first on Gold Pass Clash. So that's offense. Now let's move on to resource buildings, which is always a good thing. You might need to upgrade your storages in order to do some of these upgrades. But it's always good to upgrade and max out your storages super fast so that you can use runes most effectively. So this is essentially all of your resource buildings, storages, drills and collectors, mines, things like that. The only thing that doesn't get an upgrade is actually your Dark Elixir Storage. So we can go ahead and get rid of that. And prioritize what you feel is most important with the mines, collectors, and drills. But the storages for sure need to be upgraded relatively soon, again, for the efficiency of runes and such, but also so that you're not filling up your storages and you have to wait for builders longer. The more storage you have, the better. And whenever you upgrade the storages, they get higher hit points, which means it's a little harder for people to take all of your loot whenever they raid you. And this is just a basic representation of all of the traps that you get at Town Hall 11, including that new tornado trap, which you did get very early, though not super duper early, of course, because it's just a trap, but the tornado trap is awful to deal with as an attacker, so highly recommend you get that early. I normally prioritize air traps first, because air seems to be stronger at Town Hall 11. However, all of them are important, and I mean, generally speaking, I do the traps at the end of any town hall level, and sometimes I'll slip them in between some of the defenses depending on what time different buildings are gonna or builders are gonna finish, because I don't want all builders to finish all at the same time. I like to have one finish every day if possible, just to keep my builders my storage is emptying out so other people don't steal my loot. But there are 3 traps that actually, if you max out at Town Hall 10, don't get upgrades at Town Hall 11, and that includes the Seeking Air Mine, the Spring Trap, and the Skeleton Trap. So really, all you'll need to focus on are those. I would prioritize air bombs first, giant bombs, regular bombs, and well, I would probably actually do the tornado trap first, just because it's super awesome and really annoying for people to attack. This is the screen that we've all been waiting for. Welcome to the defense section of this upgrade guide. Now I'm following this equation here. This equation breaks down all of the different stats that I compared to figure out which defenses are actually the best to upgrade on your base first. It takes into consideration your DPS, whether or not it's splash damage or not, if it targets ground, air, or both, range, and time of upgrade. It assumes that you can get all the loot that you need all the time, so it doesn't include loot. But time is very important, because if you can put tons of DPS on your base super fast, that's more important than putting a ton of DPS on your base slowly, right? And that is the fundamental reason why you get the new defenses and upgrade them to max Town Hall 10 level or previous Town Hall level first, because those upgrades are shorter and they give you a ton of benefit on your base. So that's just, this list is assuming that you've already done that. All right, so with that all in mind, the total, or the what's the best way to put this? The results of that equation are what I call effectivity. Okay, and the higher the effectivity, the better the defense. And so the number one highest effectivity at Town Hall 11 is going to be, get out of here, Tesla, is going to be the Eagle Artillery level 1, and then the second highest effectivity for Town Hall 11 is going to be Eagle Artillery level 2. But let me show you the difference between the two, okay? Whenever you start with an Eagle Artillery, you upgrade it from nothing to a level 1 Eagle Artillery, you're gaining 300 DPS on the base. And you're doing that in, as of right now, who knows if these numbers might change, but in 5 days, right? So if you apply all the numbers, including the range, which is really what makes the Eagle Artillery OP, look at the range. You can see the end of the range is way out there on the corner, up near the waterfall and down at the corner there. This thing's range is insane, and that is what makes this thing so OP, right? So the effectivity of the Eagle Artillery at level 1 is 240. Now I know that number doesn't mean anything. It only means something in comparison to all the other defenses. So level 2 Eagle Artillery's effectivity is 23. So level 1's 240, level 2's 23. All right, so obviously level 1's better because you're going from 0 to 300, and level 2 is going from 300 to 350, right? So that's only a 50 gain. So that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. But what about the Inferno? I mean, the Inferno is pretty epic, right? Well, with that equation, the effectivity of Inferno Tower level 4 is 3. So from 240 to 23 to 3. That's how insanely OP the Eagle Artillery is. That is why I always suggest people get the Eagle Artillery as soon as possible, because it just blows every other defense out of the water. In fact, the comparative difference between the Inferno Tower level 4, which is a 3, and an Inferno Tower level 5 is a 2. So, I mean, they're like super close together, right? It's a big difference in some ways, but not really in others. And then if you just compare all of these, the differences are very, very minute. I mean, like from this mortar here, this is already below 1. It's 0.72. And then this cannon is 0.25. So, I mean, like, the difference really isn't much at all. But this is the breakdown of effectivity highest to lowest. So if you're going to follow this guide, you would do both Eagle Artilleries quickly. You do level 4 and level 5 Inferno Towers, and then X-Bow to level 5. Again, assuming you got the new defenses up to Town Hall 10 max level, and your Town Hall 10 defenses were maxed out as well. Then you would upgrade your Wizard Tower, you'd upgrade your Mortars, all of them once, which is to level 9. Archer Towers, all of them to level 14. and then bomb towers, both of them to level 5. And then you do that again, mortar, and maxed out now to level 10, archer towers maxed out to level 15, and bomb towers maxed out to level 6. And then you finally bring in your cannons. Now, this is the thing that I always found shocking, is that the air defense is so low in the effectivity rating. And the only reason why is because there's only 25% air troops, and it only hits air troops. And so its effectivity rating gets hacked by 25%, which is terrible. Actually, it gets lowered by 75% because it only retains 25%, and that's because only 25% of troops are air. Now, again, I feel that air is a lot more popular than 25%. So, generally speaking, I'll actually upgrade the air defense a lot more often than that. I'll probably put it up there, next to the Eagle artillery. That's just kind of the way I would do things. Um, I would probably follow this guide otherwise. And also, bomb towers should be higher, but there's no way for me to mathematically account for the explosion once they're dead. So they should be technically a little higher than this, but it's not a big deal. Teslas are also great because they surprise people, but they're really like short range, and so that's why they're low. Cannon maxed out is the last actual defense you'll probably want to max out, although I generally don't prioritize mortars either, but they can be really good, I guess. It's all up to you, really. And then lastly is the air sweeper, just because it doesn't do damage. I usually do the air sweeper a little higher up too, just because it's really irritating and can ruin an attack. And then, of course, don't forget your walls, right? That's the ultimate defense right there. So always dump your excess loot into your walls. So this is the rough guide of what defenses to upgrade first. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, or if I forgot anything. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I am, because I am generally pretty thorough with these guides. But yes, if you have any questions or thoughts, post them down below in the comments. Take a screenshot of this, follow it on your own, and I will be following this guide probably on my Gold Pass Clash and any other Town Hall 11s I do going forward. So thank you for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time.